moving to Jamaica is no easy feat, and when we did so initially, at moments I asked myself, what on earth have I done? However, I was very convinced and confident in the fact that the choice I made was the best one, and it was just about thinking about how it was going to work out. So things are going better for us, and let me share with you how that has transpired.
Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. Jam Fam, come hang with me.
Hello, Wagwan. Big up yourself, whether you're there yard or you're there abroad. Welcome back to another episode of Life with the Jam Fam. No move is ever easy. It's always going to be a challenge no matter where you're moving from or moving to. And in this case, when we were moving to Jamaica, I had in my head a thought out process as to how it was going to go. And part of what I did was linked it to when I used to live in Jamaica compared to where I was living. And although I've visited Jamaica on quite a few occasions, and my family members also did the same, it wasn't the same as coming back and living, because when we visited for 2 weeks or a month. And so going beyond that makes a significant difference. Also, when you've decided that you're going to set up home in Jamaica and it's now going to be where you live for an extended period of time, it becomes very different, the day-to-day things that you're going to do. And so it makes you now have to start to experience what life is really like in Jamaica. Beach was a nice little touch in Juice Beach. It's a full 3 tanks worth of it. And some lovely fish. And look at that one.
This is the before of my room. I moved my mattress, my exercise bike, my storage bins, my vanity. Some of these are going to go on my chest of drawers, my bedside table, and my bed, which are coming soon. So I made the space for it. And then you guys can see the after. We went to this like mini market area, so I'm going to try the
What's the verdict?
It's good.
Okay, well, I'm going to try mine. At what we call satsuma. It's called a tangerine, so it's a really good one. And I'm going to see how it tastes. This is my first one, so we'll see. Awesome. I'm going to enjoy this now. Our first trip to the post office. We're going to go and check to see if we've got anything. We're expecting some letters, so we're just going to go and have a look to see if it's there or not.
So this is the locker, so when you come to shop.
So the boxes.
For example, I'll do email if I'm sending letters to my friends.
Local one. And then the post boxes.
So like if you're keeping some kind of storage thing, then you can have the key to it.
And then you come and collect your letter.
So yeah.
So they put your letters in and you come and collect it from there.
At your school, you used to have the special part where you pulled out the letters and stuff that you could use. Yeah, make it obvious.
You go here to get the letters if you don't have a box.
Oh, there.
I guess somebody's got mail. You're going to open it.
Does it look like a...
No, just open it. Yay! She's opened her first mail in Jamaica. Here.
Yeah?
Turn on the light.
Okay.
Keep walking.
Where's the fridge here?
I decided to move it. Have you noticed anything?
The fridge! It works.
Yeah. Open and check if it actually works. Lights. Guess today I was here and I was like, the washing machine didn't work and the microwave, and we have to wait to get them fixed. But do I really have to wait to get the fridge? And I just thought I would plug it into the extension adapter and see if it worked. And I plugged it in and voila. So I cleaned it up and got it all fitted up on the adapter until the electrician come to get it sorted. So all this time we've been waiting to get it set up when literally it was already possible. So it's just going through its cooling phase. Aww. You've been waiting.
Many more magnets, but I'm going to put this one first since it represents the country we're in.
Okay. And then you'll put the others on as time goes by?
Yeah. That's a picture with my cousin and my aunt. And one from one of my childhood shows.
Okay.
And I think there was another one. And just one that can put up notes.
Okay, so you're just going to stick them back on. Alright. In your time.
Yeah.
I thought I'd give you a surprise when you get back from school.
I was wondering what it would be. Because you said that you didn't think the fridge would work.
I didn't. That's why I never tried it.
My hardest to not agree with that. Because I didn't think it would work. It just needs the right adapter.
Yeah. So this one served us, the loan served us well. I just need to clean it and then return it to the owner now.
But
So
now we have some free ice.
I need it to defrost and clean and then we can return it. So we have our fridge. Another step into us feeling as though we're at home again. Thought I'd share this lovely rainbow that I saw in the sky as we got here. Stopped just so we could show it to you. It's so magnificent, hitting the landscape so wondrously. Now for us, one of the first things that we experienced when we moved back was the unexpected costs that were coming our way. And so initially for me, that was something that was causing me a lot of distress, because those are things that when you plan out your cost of things and you did your research and you figured out how much things were going to cost, coming and seeing that there are costs that you hadn't planned for, it does have its implications. And so we had to work through that and through the additional costs that we weren't planning for. And of course, when you're planning a move like this, you need to have your emergency fund, you need to have your backup fund and your backup fund. It just simply is what it is. And so I would say to people who are thinking about moving to Jamaica, if you consider that this is how much money you are going to need for what you're coming here to do, double it, because literally you're going to need more. So the best thing to do is to just plan and have enough so that you can have it to spend. However, we've now come to a place where we've gotten over most of those costs and we sort of balanced ourselves out now for what we're going to be doing going forwards. Now, I've said on a few occasions about the fact that the car money that we had worked and put aside went, and so we had to use it to cover some of those unexpected costs. And it's okay. We are getting on and getting around as best as we possibly can without a car. And so for now, we will just continue to work that process until we actually need to have a car, and then we'll have one. Dealing with the unexpected cost has helped us to refocus on the things that are a priority or the things that are important and a must-have. And for definite, because we were accustomed to having a car for the last several decades, it was sort of feeling a bit abnormal not having one. And of course, having one is a convenience. You get out of your house, you jump into your car, you go where you need to go, and you jump into it and you get back home. The inconvenience of having to sit and spend time waiting for a taxi, or going out in the rain when it's raining to go and get a taxi, or having to wait for a taxi in that time, or going to the supermarket and needing to have to figure out how you're going to get home with all of your things that you've purchased, or wanting to go out on an adventure and needing to think about how you're going to get there, can sometimes be off-putting. However, the year that we've been here now have helped us to figure out how we can make those things work for us, and at the moment we are in a position where they are working, and so we've pivoted and adapted to that for now, so that it is not stealing our joy and our happiness, and it's actually not putting us out in terms of significant inconvenience, because we've found a workaround for now that suits us perfectly fine. One of the things that we find is getting better as well is our network build out. So we're beginning to build out our network a little bit better as we go along, because it takes time to improve your network in terms of not just finding people who can do things for you and who can provide you with service, but actually trying to build up relationships with these people. And so we feel that at this moment in time, we're getting to that place where we're building out our network a lot better. And so that's a good thing for us, because the more we build out our network, the more we can become confident in the fact that we have people around us who we are serving, they are serving us. And so it becomes a symbiotic relationship. And it also opened doors for us, because we can have people who know how the system works and who can further inform us or educate us on it, or people who just know people, so that it can advance our processes in some scenarios. And of course that is going to be beneficial. And we're also starting to understand how the system itself is working, and so that's a good thing in terms of the information that we can harness from the network that we are building out for ourselves. When I was coming to Jamaica to live, I decided that I'm going to give myself a year's worth of sabbatical, because it was essential for me. I just needed to get to that place where I was rezoning my mind and getting my mental health back on track. And so getting an opportunity to just sit back and relax and fine-tune my thought processes and my move going forwards, even though it's planned, it's just refining it and getting it clearer, and also getting it to work in the system that we're now going to be in. And so for me, it was very important that I had that opportunity to sit back and to just unwind in that way. And other than for my involvement in the Black River Film Festival and supporting its project, the project management of it and the project administration of it, especially the youth festival part of the whole festival in its entirety. It gave me an opportunity to see how things are run in Jamaica. But outside of that, I maintained my sabbatical to the best of my ability, because I knew that I needed it, because when I get back into the system, I was going to be making sure that my frame of thinking was in its healthiest form possible. Coming to Jamaica on a sabbatical also brought home to my mind that I was going to need to pivot to the idea that I was going to have less streams of income than I had before. And so that was something that we also needed to work around. And it took us a little while in our adjustment to come to the realization and accept the reality that our streams of income that we have is sufficient to sustain us. And although this was something that I was conscious of when we were making the plans to come to Jamaica and to move to Jamaica, it wasn't something that I had tested before. And so coming and having to and losing out on streams of incomes meant that I now had to work through the process of realizing and recognizing that it is fine. The streams of incomes that we have is sufficient to sustain us. That by no means mean that we don't want to look at other streams of income, and hence why I said I would give myself a year of sabbatical and then start to look at how to create additional streams of income. So at the moment, things are indeed going better, because we've come to the end of a year and recognized that we can sustain ourselves, and now we just need to explore other streams of incomes that we can create now that we are here, and put the effort and energy into working those additional streams of income. Whereas now, for this next year, going through our second year here, that will become our point of focus, to try and see how we can create additional streams of income. And so I would suggest to somebody who is coming, and especially if you're coming to Jamaica because you feel burnt out, you feel mentally drained, physically worn out, and you have battled with different forms of mental illnesses and stress and strain in the country that you're coming from. Make sure that you've given yourself a little bit of a nest egg that you can use to sustain you whilst you're in Jamaica, and going on that process of healing yourself and going through that genuine healing process without the stress and strain of income streams, because then it will be a quicker process for you to recover and then bounce back and look at ways in which you can build out a new income stream whilst you are here. And one of the other things that we feel is going well for us is initially I was very resistant to some of the ideas that were part of the system and social structure of the country, because I've seen things done so much differently and so much more effectively and efficiently, and so sometimes it just concerns me as to how things are done and why it is that people cannot recognize that they can be done better and can be done differently. I'm also fully aware of humans' resistance to change, and so that is something that I also am becoming a little bit more consciously aware of. The fact that for some people they just prefer that the status quo, this works, why do we need to change it? And so it is just something that we have to come to accept if you're working in a system, and then figuring out how you can ensure that that system works for you for as best as possible. So at this moment, I'm prepared and ready to go back out into seeing how I can adjust to this system that we're going to have to operate in, and that we get to operate in, and then trying to see how it can work best for us. There are many people who have made the transition from wherever they were living and coming to Jamaica, and they're thriving, they're doing brilliantly. They've had to also go through that process of transitioning and adjusting and adapting and pivoting, because it's just essential and necessary, and these are things that we have to do if we're going to grow. And I'm getting the opportunity to add a new level of growth to myself, and exposing my family to that opportunity of growth and development. So it's a good thing for us going forwards. And the fact that we know that we don't need to worry about certain things, help to make it a little bit better, and therefore we can take the risk and the adventure that comes with figuring out where we go, what we do next. It's not you're not going to be short of ideas if you actually sit down and process some of the things that can be done. And the value that you have created for yourself is now the value that you're then going to be able to add to the society around you when you think about what other things that you'll be able to do. And so getting to learn a little bit more about the system is something that I'm going to be focusing on, and then be able to see how I pivot in that system and where there are opportunities that I can squeeze myself into so that we can make this move the move that we have envisioned it to be. And so far we're going well within our timeline and our plan that we have set up for ourselves. And so it's just taking this journey in our own pace and in our own time. I'm not concerned about what other people around us think, whether they think that we're doing what's best for us or not. Because at the bottom line, while some of these people have our best interests at heart in their view of it, they're also projecting what they think would be best for us. So we have to look at what is best for us as individuals. Many people might think, oh, why would I leave the UK to come to Jamaica at a time like this and at my age and all of those things? But it is what was and is still the best thing for me to do at this moment in time, and until I see that it's different, then I will accept that my decision was the right one to make. We are opening ourselves up to the possibilities that lies ahead of us. We are exploring different avenues where we can look for income streams, as well as where we can impact the society around us, where we can use our skills and our talents and the value that we have worked on building in ourselves to help the society round about us. And so I'm looking forward to this next year of all the different things that I will be able to, that I and as a family we will be able to accomplish. And so it's a brilliant time to look forward and to plan out what we're going to be doing for our second year in Jamaica, and we are looking forward to it. We're enthused, we're excited about the adventure that lies ahead of us, and we know that at the end of it, although there will be turbulence along the way, we're not expecting smooth roads, because that's just a fairy tale in the minds of people who think that it's going to be smooth. We are expecting peaks and troughs as we go ahead, but we know that at the end of it, we will be at a better place than we were at the start of the year. And so we're planning it out, and we're working the different issues that we can experience as we go along. And we thank you for going along this journey with us for our first year. We appreciate you, and we are aware that we have added some thoughts and ideas to the minds of many in the diaspora who also want to take on this process, and we will continue to share some of those with you so that it gives others insight, or at least give you the views of the environment and some of the things that are developing in the country, so that it is helping you to plan out your return, or giving you an opportunity to see the beautiful landscape, or experience some of the nature that Jamaica has to offer until you return in the time frame that you have planned out for yourself.
The Jam Fam family, where living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. Jam Fam, hang with me.
Thank you so much for staying with us on this another episode of Life with the Jam Fam. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.